Hi everyone, I'm Mindy Eggen and welcome to my channel. So today's video is all about organizing my ink swatches. I've tried a few different systems over the years, the most recent being where I kept these 2x2 swatch cards in coin protectors and then just held them together with like a key ring. But I found I did not like how flimsy that was. It was easily where I could hang it somewhere, but I wanted something that was just a little bit more sturdy when it came to my craft space. Now, since I have some new ink pads from Altenew that I wanted to swatch out, I thought I would record that in a video for you so you can see how I do it. And then be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video where I'm going to show you my new favorite way to store my Altenew ink pads because these are round ink pads and they fit just a little bit differently than my other ones. So be sure to stick around for that. I am going to have more information, pictures, links, all of that listed down below in the video description and over on my blog as well. So let's jump into it. I have four new sets of inks from Altenew, and if you're familiar with their inks, they have them in a group of four. Now, these particular colors, they are already in their oval ink line, but if you are keeping up with the round ink pads or enjoy them, these colors are being released now in the round ink pads. So all of the ink pads, when you receive them, come with this plastic seal on them. So I just take my scissors and I cut a little slit on the bottom of the ink pad through that plastic. And then I just go through, kind of stick my thumb under there and get all the plastic off. So I know that's kind of a no-brainer, but I just wanted to show you how they do come packaged. So they are sealed individually. To do the actual ink swatching, I have these charts or these sheets that I downloaded from Jennifer McGuire's website. I am going to link that down below in the video description and on my blog too, because I need to give credit where credit is due. These are amazing. Now, she has them listed out for just tons of different ink companies or different stamp companies that have their own ink line. And I just downloaded an edible version, and then I can change it. I can make, maybe the company name is all in caps and the ink line is lowercase. You can customize it. At least that's the one that I have. So I'm using the guidelines that she has provided and I'm trimming these down. So it's going to be a 2x2 piece of cardstock and it's going to have the ink name and the company name. And as far as cardstock, you can print that on whatever you want. I am using Hammermill, which is the cardstock that I typically use. To do the actual swatches, I have a few different stamp sets that I have used throughout the years. Some of them I've changed and updated or will be updating. And I know Simon Says Stamp has a swatching type of stamp set. I could not find it. So I am using this Summer Fruit Tiles, which has this rectangle on there. And it is just a really great shape. And also, I love how it is solid like that. So it's going to work really good for swatching. I am placing my first one. This is the lightest color out of that yellow collection. I placed that down in the corner of my Misti because that's where I am going to always be stamping. And then you want to make sure you condition your stamp if it is brand new. Mine is very well loved, but I still like to clean it to make sure I don't have any leftover ink on there. And then I rub my hand over it to make sure I don't have any water left on there from my tidy towel. I'm starting with that lightest shade, which I think in this collection is the butternut. So I stamped that down, stamped beautifully. I am just going to put that ink pad away, wipe that down with my tidy towel, and then I'm going to bring in the next color. So this is the second lightest in the, or no, it's the, not second lightest. It's the second, you know what I mean. It's the next one in this collection of four. But what I like to do sometimes is take a scratch piece of paper and stamp down on there because sometimes you may not clean it very well and it can have excess ink on there. That isn't too crucial when you're moving in a collection line like this where it's all different shades of yellow. But when you start moving from like a yellow to an orange or a yellow to a brown, that's where stamping off can be very important. So I went through, stamped all four of the colors from this particular collection. I'm going to show the finished results at the end here. Now, in between changing colors, I do like to take a stamp cleaner, spritz that onto the stamp, and then wipe that down. I am using Ultra Clean from Hero Arts, but any stamp cleaner will work. Then again, I will grab just a scratch piece of paper, stamp that down, make sure I don't have any leftover ink on there, and then I can move to my next color. So for this one, I believe I'm moving into the pinks. And even sometimes I will stamp this down first on that scratch paper just to double check it and make sure I don't have anything left over. Like I said, maybe not as crucial when I'm going from the yellow to the pink, but I really want to get the true color out of these. So I will clean that off with my tidy towel and then go through the rest of this line or this collection of ink, which is the shade of pinks. Now, I'm not going to show you every single thing. I do kind of open it to show you the colors, but I always keep that swatch down in that bottom corner of my mini Misti, and it just actually goes really fast. And I found with these inks that I didn't have a lot of leftover ink on them, meaning when I was stamping on scratch paper, it was coming off really well. Sometimes with ink pads, especially the dark colors, they can stay on your stamp for a little while and you have to really clean. But with the Altenew inks, I found that they cleaned off real easy. Now all of my swatching is done, and here is a look at each collection. This is Tropical Forest. Then we have Deep Blue Seas. It's such a beautiful combination of blues. Next, we have some of the Fall Harvest. So you can go get some yellows, maybe a tint of orange in there. And then we have Cherry Blossom. Now, as far as storing all of my ink swatches, I have this 6x8 binder, and I know this is not a brand new concept, but it is new to me. I have never put my ink swatches in a binder before, and I have every stamp company in here. I think I got them all. I was redoing some of them. Now you can see some of the stamp sets are different. I do try to keep the same stamp set in the same company just because I really like consistency, but I have all of them in here. These are little 2x2 pocket protectors, or my 2x2, excuse me, they're 6x8 pocket protectors that fit my 2x2 swatch card. There we go. So I have everything labeled. The only thing that I need to do is add tabs on the side so that I can get to a company quickly when I'm flipping through. So off screen, I went ahead and I added in my new colors to the Altenew collection. And I did have to take some of them out because I like mine in a certain order. Here are the brand new pinks that fit in. And I do these vertically because there are 4 inks in a collection. Some of my other ones, I go horizontally across the page. Just depends on how the ink lines are. And this binder just sits behind me on my shelf, and I can grab it quickly and easily when I am ready to look up some colors. Now on to my storage for the round ink pads in particular. For my other ink pads, my rectangle ink pads, I do use some storage units from Organize More, but for my round ones from Altenew, I was struggling because I wanted to keep them in their groupings. And I found these clear trays. So one tray has 3 rows in it. I was able to take those trays, turn them on their side so that the bottom of the tray is against my wall. And then I have some Velcro strips so that it's attached to the tray and the wall and I'm not putting holes in my wall. I absolutely love this method. It looks really nice because it's clear. I can keep the groupings together so I don't feel like I'm taking up a ton of space. And they sit nicely on top of my Organize More racks that you can see right there underneath. And I can still put some decorations and things up on top of them as long as it's not super heavy. Being in a small space that I am, organization is very important to me, staying organized and also making it look visually appealing to me. So I really enjoy how this came out. I hope this video helps you, whether it's with your ink swatches or maybe in your organization. Again, I will have all of these supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again in the next video.